Yo, four wealth building cornerstones you never learned in school. And yes, coming live and direct from the Mobile Command Center, aka Ground Force One, because I'm so presidential. Uh, what's going on this morning, ladies and gentlemen? Wealth Nation, Hustle Nation. Listen, do me a huge favor as you guys are coming into the room as we have this discussion. Make sure you comment in the chat where you're from. Also, drop the name of your business and or your brand. I'm trying to turn my ringer off so we don't get interrupted, but I'm struggling here. All right, there we go. There we go. Let me know who's tuning in, where you from. Also, drop the name of your business and or your brand. Listen, man, I don't know about you guys, man, but I am so sick and tired of hearing people talk about what they didn't learn in school as if that is a legitimate reason to not be financially literate. Man, they never taught us that stuff in school. Okay, you grown now. You know what that's like? That's like those of us who have adult children, right? That's like our adult children saying what we didn't teach them coming up or what we weren't able to do for them coming up. But now that they're grown, they know what they missed, so they can go out and get that knowledge. And we have this wonderful invention called the internet. So really quickly, before we go in, man, for those of you who do not know me, my name is H. Cortez, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur from ThorntonOnlineMarketing.com, where I'm on a mission to help empower working Americans through financial literacy with an emphasis on personal brand development and entrepreneurship. So let's dive in, man. Real quick announcement. If you want to be part of a community where we help you hold yourself accountable to doing the things necessary to build generational wealth, then you, my friend, might want to comment extra digit movement, and I'll send you some information about how our community really works, and how we're building generational wealth together. So 4 things, man, 4 wealth building cornerstones that they never taught us in school, starting with number 1, networking, right? They taught us how to be social, but they never taught us how to network. They taught us how to be polite to one another, how to be in an environment or a room full of people and be social. But the difference between being social and networking is this, and I got this from the great master networker, founder and creator of the Power Networking Conference, Mr. George C. Frazier himself. We were taught that it's not about who you know, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. We learned nepotism, that if you know the right people, you can get in certain positions and certain doors will open up. Maurice, my friend, what's going on? Vivian, hey, Janelle, welcome to the stream from Big Black's Barbecue and Integrity Wealth Solutions. We were taught that it's not what you know, it's who you know. But when I listened to Dr. George Frazier, he said it's not who you know, it's who knows you and what they know about you. He said it's not who you know, because all of us know Michael Jordan, but we can't run up on Michael Jordan in the streets and get him to do anything for us, get him to open any doors for us. However, if Michael Jordan knew us and he knew certain things about us, that's the game changer. That is the game changer. It's who knows you and what they know about you. Give you a good example. I see my man Maurice hopped on. What I know about Maurice is he's good with them hands in terms of carpentry and rehabbing properties and things of that nature. So if somebody asks me, bro, I'm in St. Louis, I just bought my first piece of rental property, I need somebody to come and rehab it for me. It's not that Maurice knows me, it's that I know Maurice, and more importantly, what I know about Maurice, I can then refer him to other people. So when I tell y'all, when you hop on the stream, comment where you're from and the name of your business and or your brand, that's why. That's why. Now that's the primary reason. Also, it does help the algorithm a little bit the more people comment. But I'm always in networking mode. I want to know who you are, and I want to know something about you, because I so believe in the law of reciprocity that if somebody needs something that you have to offer, I want to be able to send them your way. Right? Do me a favor, man. Do me a favor. We can no longer afford to hoard this kind of information. So smash that share button for me, man. Smash the share button so more and more people can get this, right? So the first wealth building cornerstone, and a lot of people say, well, Cortez, that ain't wealth building. Bull crap. Bull crap. Because Maurice has networked with me, I know a little bit about what he does. Some of you might need his service. Did I just not put money in his pocket? That's wealth building. Some of y'all don't believe that networking is wealth building. You've got to put yourself in position where more and more people get to know you and what you do, right? I've gotten referrals from a lot of you guys watching right now because you know me and you know what I do. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to beat this dead horse. If you ain't doing Facebook Lives, if you ain't doing video marketing so more people can get to know you, shoot, you're missing out on a huge opportunity, right? If I was Maurice and Maurice said, Cortez, I need some help with my branding and marketing, what's one of the first things that you think I should be doing? Because he's good with his hands, because he's in carpentry, and because he's in that whole space of fixing things, I would have a YouTube channel and a Facebook page where I teach people simple fixes. Hey guys, if you don't want to hire an electrician, let me show you how to switch out a light switch safely. But if you're too scared of electricity, then call your boy and I'll come through and I'll knock it out for you. Right? Because now I'm giving value. People are getting to know what I do. People are getting to see me as an authority in my space, and I'm marketing at the same time. So that's number one. Number one wealth building cornerstone that they never taught us is networking. It's not about who knows you. Stop running around trying to get to know everybody's name and make sure people know your name. They need to know you and something about you. Right now we're talking. I see people are now saying what they do, and that's huge, man. That's huge. Keep it coming, man. Comment where you from, especially if you're in a service-based business. If you're in a service-based business, you always have to let people know the city that you're in. Because if you're in a service-based business, it does me no good to know about your service if I'm in St. Louis and you're in Detroit. You need to be saying, hey, I'm from Detroit. You might even want to drop your zip code, your area code. I service this area, this community, right? So number one is networking. It's not who you know. It's not what you know. It's not who you know. It's who knows you and what they know about you. Your network will contribute to your net worth if you are practicing the law of reciprocity. I'm going to say that again. Your network will contribute to your net worth if and only if you are practicing the law of reciprocity. If you're in my network and I'm constantly referring you, but you never refer me, that's not going to last long. It's not going to last long. You got to practice the law of reciprocity. So that's number one, network. Number two, credit. Number two, credit. You never learned in school the power of leveraging credit as a wealth building cornerstone. For those of you who do not know what I do in my full-time business is I offer a membership that includes credit repair as one of the foundational pillars in our financial education franchise. So if you know people who need better credit, you might want to have them get at us, right? But we've been taught to pretty much stay away from credit. We've been taught, or we were never taught how compound interest works, right? We were never taught how amortization works when we borrow money, right? And because of that, a lot of us will go out and get into debt. One of the first things that they're going to ask you when you need to borrow money or get a credit card, they ask you what your gross pay is. And you will go out and get qualified to borrow money based on your gross pay, and your payment arrangements is set up based on your gross pay, but that ain't what you bring home. So now your payment arrangement is set on $50,000 because that's your gross pay. Your net pay, what you bring home, is $33,000. And you wonder why you struggle to keep up with your payments, because they set you up from failure from the beginning, right? They didn't teach you that the reason the credit card companies have a such thing as a minimum payment is so that they can charge you the maximum amount of interest that the law allows. Right? Why do credit card companies have a minimum payment? That allows them to charge you the maximum amount of interest by law. It's all numbers, it's all math. It's strategically calculated that if they know how much of a $500 credit limit, how much of a $5,000 credit limit, based on what you use on that limit, they know exactly what the minimum payment should be mathematically that will cause you to create or to pay the most amount of interest that's legally allowed, right? And because of that, then you have people running around saying, cut up your credit cards and stay away from debt. Stay away from credit. No, learn how to use credit as a wealth building tool and not as a liability purchasing tool, right? If you guys want to follow another dope podcast, right? David Shands has a podcast called Social Proof. If you go over on YouTube, I think the name of the YouTube channel is Sleep is for Suckers. He had a brother on talking about credit and understanding how to create cash flow from liabilities. And I'm going to give you just a high level overview of one of the examples that he gave. And I hope this will blow your mind like it blew my mind when we're talking about credit. He said, there are places where you can go take over somebody's lease, right? There are networks, just kind of like Uber and all of these apps, where somebody is done with their lease. They want to, maybe they leased it for 3 years and they're in the last 10 months of the lease and they're trying to get out of it. You can take over their lease. He said, brother, I took over somebody's lease of a smart car. A smart car is a real tiny 2-door car, right? Great gas mileage. He said it was $200 to take over that lease. Now, most people will see that as a liability, but he took over the lease with the $200. The first thing he did when he took over that lease, he went and found 3 businesses to advertise their business on that smart car. 2 doors, and the back. $250 a month he charged, right? So now he turned a $200 liability into a $550 profit instantly, because he understands the name of the game is cash flow, y'all. How much money do you have left over after you pay your bills? Now, most people will stop there because I'm like, that's dope. I got a $200 lease. I charge somebody $250 per month to put their magnets on the car for advertising purposes. But then he took it a step further. He turned around and leased the car to other young people who want to drive Uber and Lyft, but do not have a car. He leased them the car for $100 a day, something crazy like that. So now they're driving the car around, advertising like he promised the businesses that he advertised. Then he's making money off the Uber and the Lyft drivers when he rents the car to them so they can go out and make them some money. And he's created a cash flow machine, and it's costing him $200 in a lease plus insurance. But you got to understand, there's multiple ways to use and leverage credit to build wealth. I know, Eliani, right? That's crazy. That's crazy, right? So we've got to understand that the other thing about credit is when you use the bank's money to buy assets, y'all realize you don't pay taxes on the money that you borrow. You realize you don't pay taxes on money that you borrow. I think the name of the YouTube channel, Eliani, is Sleep is for Suckers. Sleep is for Suckers, I believe. If you go look up Social Proof Podcast, you can probably find it that way also. Sleep is for Suckers, I think, is the name of the YouTube channel. I mean, David Shands has some dope guests on, and I'm gonna try to reach out to him and get him on my show because he's a dope dude, right? So understand that when you borrow money, when you leverage credit, you don't pay taxes on that money. So if I borrowed $100,000 to buy a rental property, I get the whole 100,000 and I don't pay taxes on it. Then I turn around and sell that house for $150,000. I pay the bank back their money. I made a $50,000 profit. Now, most people say, well, Cortez, you're going to pay taxes on that $50,000. Not if I take that $50,000 and buy another property. Right? If I buy up and prove the property that I buy, I'm leveling up so I don't pay taxes on the $50,000 because I'm keeping it in the streets, as Dame Dash would say. So the second thing that you have to get clear on is there's more to credit than debt. There's more to credit than credit cards and using credit to buy liabilities, right? You're not following Robert Kiyosaki on how he used debt to create a multi, I don't know if he's in the billions yet, but he's got hundreds of millions of assets and he never uses any of his own money. But you got to get disciplined to build your own personal credit score. And all of you guys who are sharing your businesses, if you have not started the process of building your business credit, then comment business credit so I can get you some information on business credit. If you own a business and you have not yet started the process of building your business credit, I want you to comment business credit so I can get you some information on building your business credit. The third thing they never taught us in school that's helping the rich get richer, the rich stay richer, the rich maintain their riches is taxes. It's taxes, y'all. Which I don't understand. They never teach us about taxes and how taxes affect us directly. Guys, There's three primary ways you make money in this country. You make money with your labor, you make money through business, and you make money with money. There's three primary ways you make money in this country. You make money with your labor. If you are like 95% of people in this country and you're making money with your labor only, meaning you work for somebody else as a W-2 employee, you are taxed the absolute most. I didn't make the rules up. I'm just telling you, you're going to lose almost 50% of your income to taxes from your job. Cortez, that's asinine. Nobody loses 50% of their income in taxes. Are you crazy? We have a graduated tax code in this country. Yep, you're right. You're right. But if you're making 100% of your income from a job, say you're not making that much money and you're in a 20% tax bracket because of the amount of money you make, right? Then if you're in a state like Missouri, you're going to pay another 7%, 7 to 9% in state taxes, right? So now we're at, let's say it's right at 8%. So now we're at 28%. Then on top of that, you're going to pay 7 to 9% in sales tax on everything you buy. So now we just went from 28% to 37%. Then if you own property, like this van or a car or a jet ski, you're going to pay a personal property tax. So now you're up to 40%. And if you own real estate, then you're going to pay real estate tax. Come on, man. 40% of your income gone in taxes. They don't tell you that. They don't teach you how to legally lower your taxes. They're not teaching you any of that stuff, man. But I'm so sick of grown people talking about, I never learned that stuff in school, as if that's an excuse to why they're financially illiterate. A lot of stuff you didn't learn in school, you learned after you got out of school because you gave it a priority in your life. You're going to keep telling me that you're financially illiterate because what they did not teach you in school. And now you're raising financially illiterate children because what you did not learn in school. Come on, people. Come on, people. We got to get out of that foolishness, man. No, they didn't teach me this stuff in school. I had to go get around some people who was talking about this stuff all the time. Those people are extremely wealthy. They recommended me some books. They recommended me some workshops to go to. They recommended that I connect with other people, right? That's not an excuse. Well, we never learned this type of stuff in school. Shoot, man. A lot of stuff you ain't learned in school. Even while you were school age, there was a lot of stuff that you learned outside of school that you applied. So taxes, you have got to understand the tax code and how it affects you in this country and how you can leverage it, because it's my opinion that the U.S. tax code is the #1 wealth building tool in all the world. That's why people literally put their lives on the line to get here. Literally, people are willing to die trying to pedal across a doggone ocean, stowing away in ships. They're willing to die to get here because of the land of opportunity. The fourth thing, wealth building cornerstone, that they won't teach you in school, is entrepreneurship. The Black Wealth Continuum on YouTube. Appreciate that. Thanks for tuning in. The fourth wealth building cornerstone that you'll never learn in school, and just because you didn't learn it in school is not an excuse for you not to know it, right? Is entrepreneurship. Here's what's funny about school. The whole process of you being in school, they're teaching you that entrepreneurship is risky, that starting and running a business is risky, They're creating a sense of fear and anxiety in you about entrepreneurship. Out of one side of their mouth, they're speaking ill of entrepreneurship. But the exact same time, out of the other side of their mouth, they're teaching you how to beg an entrepreneur for a job. I'm gonna run that one back, man, because y'all got the whole time you're in school, they're teaching you that entrepreneurship is risky. You might not want to start a business. You want to play it safe, get you a job with a good company. But out of the other side of their mouth, they're teaching you how to ask an entrepreneur for a job. Here's how you create your resume. Here's how you do your cover letter. Here's how you fill out an application. Here's how you conduct an interview. Here's how you put your best foot forward. Here's how you research a company. You want to know a little bit about the company that you're going to interview. Wait a minute. You told me that entrepreneurship was risky, but then you're teaching me how to ask an entrepreneur for a job. It's crazy, right? That's our school system. But to understand our school system, you simply follow the money. Who funds our school system? The U.S. government and big business. Where does the U.S. government and big business get their funding from? They get their money. The U.S. government gets its money from taxing employees. Big business gets its money from leveraging the labor of employees. So they came together and said, hey, here's the curriculum that you're going to teach at school that prepares students to become employees. And those who are like me, have the entrepreneurial mindset in school, we're labeled ADHD. We're labeled special. We're labeled a little weird. We can't communicate with the teacher because they speak employee, we speak entrepreneur. We think critically. They're trying to put our thinking in a box. So when we're thinking outside of the box, they call that disruptive. Huh? Are you what? Yeah, because I think out of the box, because I've got a million questions for the thought process and the reasoning you're trying to force on me. Now I'm disruptive. Because the way my mind is wired, I think solution. I think outside of the box. You trying to put me in a box. When I fight to stay out of the box, you say I'm disruptive. Crazy, right? So they never teach you about entrepreneurship. They never teach you that when you make money with business, you can pay less taxes. When you make money with business, my cell phone, my rent, the miles I put on my car, man, all kind of stuff become a tax write-off. My whole lifestyle is a tax write-off. Are you kidding me? Because I am the brand. I am the business. Everywhere I go, I'm conducting business. So that if I drive to that place, I'm conducting business. I got business cards. I'm talking to people. I'm networking. So my miles are a tax write-off, 54.5 cents a mile or whatever it is for 2020. Some of y'all looked at the article that says they're after Trump because he only paid $750 in taxes. And y'all mad because the media is telling y'all should be mad, and y'all mad. I ain't mad. I'm trying to figure out how he did it. And clearly he must have did it illegally because he ain't in jail. He must have did it legally because he's not in jail. A lot of business owners don't even have a high school diploma or college degree because I don't need one. I don't need a college degree to hire somebody with a college degree. It's crazy, right? So the 4 wealth building cornerstones that you are not taught in school. And again, Because you are not taught this stuff in school is no excuse. No excuse. You need to learn this stuff. And more importantly, you need to teach it to your children while they are school age, so they get experience with it, right? I sit on the board of an organization called Young Biz Kids here in St. Louis. Shout out to my girl, Ariel. And it's amazing to see these young people practicing entrepreneurship and what they come up with for their business and their problem solving and their critical thinking skills. It's amazing to see. And I'm talking about these kids are anywhere between 8 and 13 years old, a lot of them. And they got dreams, they got vision, they got goal. But if you force feed them what the educational system wants them to learn, that stuff will be snuffed out of them if you're not careful. So you've got to learn, for you and your children, you have to learn networking and the power that lies within. They told us nepotism is wrong. Nepotism ain't wrong, man. What's wrong with y'all? We mad at somebody because they got a better connection than us. Step your networking game up. Let's be clear. I've got 5 sons. And if any one of my 5 sons needs a job, they can always come work for the family business. If that means a stranger does not get a job, so be it. My first priority is looking after my own. Ain't nothing wrong with nepotism. All right, Maurice, I see you, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with nepotism. You're only mad at nepotism because you have not learned the power of networking. Can't believe his dad knows the mayor, so he got the hookup. Well, who do your dad know? Who do your mom know? And if they don't know anybody, you make sure you get to know people and people get to know you and know things about you, so you can call on those people when you need them. Right? You got to know how credit works in this economy. More importantly, you got to know how to work credit in this economy to build wealth and buy assets. Number 2. Number 3, you got to know how the tax game is played so you can play to win. Stop crying about wealthy people not paying no taxes. You'll understand when you get wealthy, you ain't trying to give the government all your money either. Start understanding what wealthy people know, what wealthy people do that allows them to legally lower their taxes. See, we've heard that you can't, don't hate the player, hate the game. No, don't hate the game either. Learn how to play and play to win. Play to dominate. Right? So, networking, powerful wealth building strategy. You got to learn how to network and the importance of it. Teach that to your children while they're young, so they're practicing these things all while they're growing up. Right? Credit. How does credit affect you? How can you leverage credit to build wealth? Teach this to your children while they're young. Teach your children that a good name is more precious than silver and gold, because that's what credit is. It's all about your name, your reputation. Teach your children how to build and maintain their reputation. That's what credit is at its core, right? Tax code, man. Teach them that they are in America, and there's 2 tax codes in America, one for employees, one for business owners, landowners, and investors. They need to understand how to ride the line between both. What I teach people is, if you have a home-based business and a job, you got the best of both worlds. You got a consistent paycheck and you got 450 tax write-offs to lower the tax amount that you will pay on your salary on your job. And then you got to teach them the power of entrepreneurship. Got to teach it to them so they can start practicing while they are young. Yeah, workers are playing checkers while business men and women are playing chess. It's a different ball game, man. It's a different ball game. So if you guys want to build wealth, there's lots more wealth strategies than those, and this is not an all-encompassing, but just understand if you get those 4 things down, some of the other things, you know, will fall in place based on your knowledge of those things. So really quickly, I hate I'm doing this on my phone because I can't really bring your comments up on screen like I want to. Where there is no knowledge, people perish. Guys, people perish because 2 things according to scripture: lack of knowledge and lack of vision. And God bless the person that don't even have the knowledge to know that they need a vision, right? that's a whole nother thing, man. Yeah, I can't, for some reason, the screen protector on my phone doesn't like to let me scroll and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys got value out of this today, do me a favor, share this so that other people can start breaking the mental chains of what they know versus what they need to know. There's a lot of unlearning and relearning that needs to take place, but some of the things that slow us down is people like to hoard information. So you'll see this and you'll be like, nope, I ain't sharing it. Why wouldn't you share it? Right? Because somebody on your timeline is looking for this information right now. That's why they're connected to you. That's why you're connected to me. Right? That's why you were attracted to this subject matter. So smash that share button for me, man. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Those of you who commented business credit, I'm going to inbox you some information on some of the things that you could do to start the process of getting your business credit intact. As well as those of you who need better personal credit, then you should comment personal credit. That way I can get you some information on our program and how we're helping people build their personal credit as well, and learn how to leverage credit to build generational wealth. We are part of a movement called the Extra Digit Movement, where we help people grow their money 1 digit at a time. If you're not part of a community of people that's talking about, focused on executing wealth building strategies and sharing best practices with one another, you might want to take a look at what we're doing and how we're helping people expand their cash flow. So till next time, get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.